Praise the Most High today, family. We say praise the highest today. Hallelujah. What a glorious day it is. Hallelujah. Thank you, Abba, for allowing us to see this day and another opportunity to speak on your love and your mercy and your grace. Which all that grace is another opportunity. Another opportunity to get right and do what we know we're supposed to do. Hallelujah. I do hope everyone is well today, like myself, and that you're able to get out and enjoy your day. Getting in some fresh air, some sunshine, and the Most High willing, some good exercise. We do have a grand idea we want to get into today, and it's mandatory. It's mandatory. Every time something pops up, we knock it down. It's mandatory. Every time something pops up, we knock it down. And mandatory means it's required by law or rules, compulsory. If an action or procedure is mandatory, people have to do it because it's a rule or a law. And we want to speak on this idea of every time something pops up, we knock it down. And family, this was something the Most High told me when we was back in the hospital back in 2016, and it stuck with me. He said I went to him complaining about all the surgeries I was going through, and the doctors coming to me saying, well, Mr. Holloway, we found this wrong, which we found that wrong, which we need to try this new procedure. We need to try this new dope. I call it dope, but this new medication. And I got frustrated there for a minute and got my eyes off of what the Most High told me. He told me in the beginning of that ordeal during like a month and 3 weeks before I went into the hospital with that major stroke. He told me, Robert, something is about to happen that's really going to shake your faith. But no matter what you see, don't take your eyes off me, because I'll never leave you or forsake you. And like I said, I went to whining to him. And he said, Robert, did you forget what I told you? And I repeated back to him what he told me. He said, yeah. And have you noticed that every time something pops up, we knock it down? And every time something else pops up, we knock that down too. I said, yes, sir, but you saying we, you doing all the heavy lifting. He said, not so, Robert. He said, if you weren't believing in me and having trust in me, then I couldn't do nothing for you. I couldn't do nothing for you. If you hadn't prepared yourself them almost 2 months and prepared your wife, there wasn't nothing I can do for you. But see, I foresaw that coming. And this is in my own words. But I saw that coming, so I prepared you. Now, every time something comes up, we knocking it down. You believe in me, you come to me and say, Pop, this here is in the way. You promised me that no matter what I saw, no matter what I see, basically saying you're going to remove it. We're going to get through it. We're going to overcome it. Now, he didn't say he was going to take it away, family. See, that's something I want to stress today heavily. It's not saying he's going to take that situation out of the way, because as we're saying today, it's mandatory that you go through it, because it's building character, it's building strength, and it's building your strong foundation of trust in him. See, he needs some folks that's going to believe in him for that the water coming out the rock, for the manna coming out the sky, for the quail coming out the sky feeding them when they was in the wilderness. See, he's gonna need some folks that's gonna believe in him just that solid for the days coming ahead. But if they don't go through anything, how is he gonna have somebody to show himself strong on their behalf to get the people's needs met? Hallelujah. And we look there at Luke 12:48, and this confirms what I just said. To whom much is given, much will be required. To whom much is given, much will be required. So if you feel like you're going through all kinds of hell and hot water, it's mandatory. And it's okay. You're going to be all right. Every new challenge overcame. And this is what he whispered in my Ruach the other day. Well, when he gave this to me, I think it was 2 days ago. Every new challenge overcame, or was overcame, and it proves my kingdom worth. Just how much or the amount the kingdom has invested in me. Every new challenge overcame. It proves my kingdom's worth. Just how much or the amount the kingdom has invested in me. And I know some of these sentences and sayings don't flow as a complete sentence. That's because we write them at 3 and 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But we looked at Genesis 15, 1 and 2. After these things, the word of the Most High came to Abram in a vision, saying, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield and your exceedingly great reward." Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward. So not only am I gonna shield you from the brunt of what's coming your way, but I'm your reward at the end, because I'm getting you through it. I'm carrying you in most cases. Just like that old saying about the footprints in the sand. When the guy was walking, he looked back over his life, which was set in a like a walk on the beach. He said, "Well, Pop, when I look back over the course of my life as drawn out in this walk on the beach, I noticed that during my hardest times, I only see one set of footprints, because you left me during those hard times." He said, "No, I didn't leave you, son. That's when I was carrying you." Praise the highest. Praise the highest. Thank you, Abba. And that's the reward. Not only does he shield us from the hard times, shields us from the brunt of it, I say. Because he's going to allow you to feel every piece of that pain. And I promise you, every single piece of it. Because as much dope as them folks gave me, family, I felt every bit of that pain. Every bit of that pain. I felt every centimeter of them pulling that stent out of my body when they was went into my brain through my thigh, all the way up through my body and into my the back of my brain to pull out them blood clots. I had to sit for over an hour straight, family, while that nurse pulled that stent out a little by little. And they gave me a warning, said, "Don't move, because you move, that stent can cause some damage on the inside. And it can cause eternal bleeding." We say praise the Most High. He allowed us to be still in that moment. And that was one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my whole life. To be under that pressure of sitting still. Have mercy, what you talking about? Talking about learning patience the hard way, family. But it was mandatory. Thank you, Abba. But Abram, just like us, said, "Abba Yahuwah, what will you give me, seeing I am childless? And the heir of my house is Eleazar of Damascus." See, we always come back to our human side, even after he's given us a great covenant. We always want to know, well, how it's going to work out, Pop? How you going to do this? How you going to do that? What I just said, stick to the word. Then we looked at Isaiah 64:4, which we know shortly after that he broke covenant with him in a physical form, where he gave him a vision of breaking a covenant with him, something that he can understand. And family, the Most High does the same for us these days. He'll give us a confirmation of his word. He'll whisper something in our ear